Hello,
Hey
how
y'all.
is everybody? I hope everybody's doing good tonight. I want to mention first, we had our first copyright strike. It actually came out of a newscast that I showed, but I appealed it and uh, they still got a copyright strike. So I just deleted that particular live stream. We had only 150 people on it anyway, but
Which
um,
one was it? You
hikers, uh, one's on some hikers, so apparently they didn't care about the hikers being. That's one. I can't have more than three, or I could lose my channel. So that's the way it is. We want to again say that a lot of people are picking up posters. They're writing about Michael Vaughn, and they're picking up posters and they're taking them across country when they travel. And I just read about a lady out of Georgia that picked up a bunch, and she plans on putting them in her around her home city in Georgia. I don't know exactly where, but and they got another poster up right here. Um, Monkey's Law created. I was first ever. And I can't believe we're buffing because all day we have not been buffing. This thing has not been buffing all day at all. I was on the computer with a guy. He took control of my computer for 3 solid hours, and not once did it buff. Not one
Well,
time.
could it be there's more people on it this afternoon?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Beach Bum said, will they take the strike away if the video is deleted?
I don't know. I did delete it, so we'll see. You know, I don't know.
You got 16 people
Um,
watching.
I want to discuss something about this guy that Melinda, uh, retired Sergeant Melinda, told me about. This is a guy that went missing, and it's really, I've read a lot about it, and there's some strange things that happen around his disappearance. And there's apparently that whole area around where he disappears, it's Huntsville, Arkansas, is full of methamphetamine. Or Madison County, Arkansas. I don't know why I said Huntsville, but Madison County, Arkansas. They said that Jerry, how you pronounce that?
Liar.
Liar?
Liar.
Can you go ahead and read that for me? Because my eyes.
Just Jason was last spoken with on January 25th, 2022. He was texting with his sister, Sarah Wood, but has not been heard or seen since. His phone last pinged on January 27th in Madison County, Arkansas. This lead did not turn up any trace of Jason, and his phone was not found. I'm sorry. His car was found in the Northwest Arkansas Mall. His car keys were found in an undisclosed location. His motorcycle was also found in a third location. A resident of third location, a residence in Madison County. His family now has both vehicles in their possession. Jason is 42 years old. He was 41 when he was last seen, described to be between 5'6" to 5'7", 160 to 170 pounds. He has brown hair, blue eyes. Jason goes by the nickname Jay. He was last seen wearing blue jeans and a white T-shirt with tan-styled army boots. Police are actively investigating this case and are withholding some information to maintain the integrity of the case. Sarah is offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads them to Jason's whereabouts.
And so they're not saying if it's a homicide or kidnapping or what. Uh, and it says here, Madison County, Arkansas, for the last 5 months, Madison County investigators have been searching for Jason. Uh, it was Jason and I that grew up together, Sarah Wood said. Wood and her brother hasn't spoken to each other since late January. The last received from him, she said I almost wondered uh, if it ever came from Jason. Uh, said hasn't been seen or heard from since. There is uh, so many people who have given up hope. She said, I don't know what my life is going to be like without Jason. And this is one photo of him here. Says here that said we had to go back and figure out who he knew, who knew him, and go from there and see what they know. So apparently, there's some people around there. Um, Said his car was found parked out Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Police searched it in early February. There have been things that evidentiary interest that were found. Uh, some of those things is sent to the Arkansas State Crime Lab, where they're awaiting results on some of those things. Wood and her family stood just feet away watching the search and untold, holding their breath. Unfold, watching search unfold. I'm sorry, holding their breath. I bet I can't see the
Well, it's
writing's
awful.
so
So I
small.
know it's.
Let me go up a little
I was
bit.
trying to enlarge mine, but I can't.
Today, I don't know if this thing won't enlarge anymore. It used to be I could enlarge it, but I can't.
Well, mine won't enlarge either.
See if I can do it a different way.
Wood and her family stood just
Right there.
feet away, watching the search unfold and holding their breath. What, what if our brother is in the trunk of this car? She said. Lierl's motorcycle was parked outside an acquaintance's house near Clifty in Madison County. My brother would say they were friends, Wood said. How good of friends? I don't know if that is real easy to determine. That he that he Jason's acquaintances that he was last believed to be with, it's a tight circle of people, but they have a wide footprint. Wood said that Lierl battled drug addiction. She and her son Brandon, Jason's nephew, fear he relapsed around the time he disappeared. Throughout the month of January, he came upon some very dark times, and unfortunately, I think he turned back to some things that were in Madison County.
And like I said, they said that what I've read is it's a lot of meth going on out there and making a methamphetamine.
Yeah, it was in Arkansas, Beach Bum.
Okay, it says here, perhaps he shouldn't have been around.
Wood turned to social media for help. A page made to spread awareness about her brother's disappearance quickly attracted thousands of followers and several theories about what may have happened. The stories that I've heard from so many different people about my brother's disappearance have been so off the wall, Sarah says. They're just crazy. They don't make any sense. I can imagine some of the crazies that they've had contacted. If you have a lot of information to go through, we have a lot of information to go through, Brown said. The sheriff office says one of Jason's friends reported that he was last seen walking down a road in China's Corner near Huntsville. Brown, that's in Arkansas.
Yeah, Huntsville,
Brown
Arkansas.
says
Madison County too, because it's weird
that is
Huntsville,
weird.
Madison County, Arkansas, when there's a Huntsville, Madison County, Alabama.
That is weird. Brown says their focus is on rural northwestern Madison County and that some recent searches were just a week ago. In a big city, you have a lot of people, typically, Brown said. A lot of people, you have a lot of eyes. A lot of eyes, you have more, get more information. Out here in the country, it's not like that. As the investigation continues, Wood and her family once again are left holding their breath. We don't know whether it's time to mourn or if we should have hope that he's coming back, Brendan said. Is he the one whose dad is a pastor?
No,
Okay.
that's the next one.
Oh, Maddie's here. Hey, Maddie. We hadn't seen you in a while.
Says here his great brother, a great father, Wood said he deserves to be found. The sheriff's office have identified several persons of interest. There you go. And still waiting the results from the crime lab, which investigators say could take years. Well, that could be probably DNA. I don't think it's going to take years. I don't know where they're getting that information. And this is another poster of him, last seen
he is a
January
nice man. He's a nice looking man.
25th. The only other case that I want, while I was looking for this, I ran across this guy. We've actually covered this case again, but I want to talk about something involving in this case, and it got brought up by the guy's father. And you can remember this case. This was Jason Landry. This is the boy that left school, had a wreck out in the country, near some oil wells. All of his clothes were found on the roadway. His backpack, clothes, a little bit of drugs, and it appears he stripped off all his clothes and ran away. Now, whether he did that voluntarily or somebody stripped it off of him and kidnapped him, whatever, I don't know. But
Strange.
There's here I am. This thing getting stuck. But anyway, this says here, Richmond, Virginia, warrant that would, and this is what I want to talk to you about here, is what they call geofencing, and this is a lot of ways that you can help find if they could geofence all the phones that were in his area.
Yeah.
If they think it's a criminal offense, they could geofence all the phones in his area and find out if anybody was like him out there near him at the time last time his phone was discovered. But it says here the federal court in Virginia overturned the legality of geofencing against it claimed that some bank robbers they did a geofencing search warrant, police, the FBI did, and they found that the case against the bank robbers discovered through geofencing was unconstitutional and violation of their Fourth Amendment rights to unreasonable search and seizures. So a federal judge basically said you cannot run a geofencing of a place and use that evidence of that you gather in that geofence to prosecute anybody. At least not. I imagine this thing will go higher to maybe even to the Supreme Court.
But that just sounds like a great thing.
It is, but and what I thought about is this: they could use it as for an investigative thing, not just trying to prosecute anybody, just to find out if anybody was out there and then talk to them. Let's play this and you'll hear the father talk about that. Hold on a minute.
This morning, the family of 21-year-old Jason Landry is still looking for answers.
It's been a year since the Texas State student disappeared while heading home to Missouri City for Christmas break. Our Zach Lashway is joining us now with details on a vigil for Landry tonight and an emotional conversation, Zach, that you had with his father.
Yeah, day 365, a day Jason Landry's family hoped would be different. Perhaps by now they would be reunited with their son. Instead, they're still searching, looking for clues on where he could be. Here's his father, Pastor Kent Landry, on life 1 year later.
Hello, my name is Jason Landry, and I'm currently a sophomore at Texas State.
A few videos and hundreds of photos is all the Landry family has of their youngest child, Jason.
As a dad, I'm blessed. I mean, because I have memories. I have wonderful memories. It's just hard when you're sitting here thinking all you'll have of that child is memories.
Jason was passing through Caldwell County on his way home for Christmas break.
It was the night of December 13th when he left. He was in Luling at 11:30 p.m. on the 13th. His car was found at 12:30 a.m. on the 14th.
Jason's car was found totaled, the keys still in the ignition. His cell phone was lodged between the driver's seat and center console. His wallet was inside the vehicle, his clothes scattered outside the car. But there was no sign of Jason.
People ask me, what do I think happened? I'm like, I don't have the slightest idea.
Inside his office at Southminster Presbyterian Church, Pastor Kent Landry updates me on his son's missing persons case.
The Attorney General's office is in the process of forming a cold case division. We would love for them to take it on.
Kent says he hopes investigators will secure a geofence warrant.
We'd kind of, I think, help resolve the simple issue, was someone else involved or not.
This warrant gathers data from any devices in the vicinity of a crime, but this requires law enforcement to swear they believe a crime took place.
I don't believe that's from law enforcement, Caldwell County Sheriff's Office viewpoint at this point, that they do not believe that.
Every once in a while, Kent drives to Luling to the spot where Jason's car was found.
I just feel the need to go out there, and part of it might be the need to be with them, but more it's just to look, just in case.
Is today a day you dread?
It's going to be hard. There's like a hole in your heart because, and you can't move on. We can't grieve. We're just in limbo. We're stuck.
Faith is what gives the Landrys hope to be reunited with their son.
And we know that if Jason has passed, and almost certainly he has, just given the circumstances, we know he's in heaven, and I will see him again. We will all see him again.
The last significant search was completed in late October, early November. On behalf of the Landry family, Kent says they are thankful for all the efforts made by the community. Tonight at 7, there will be a prayer vigil.
Now, this was several months ago when that interview was done, but I mainly want to touch on the geofencing thing. The fact that the Supreme Court said that, or not the Supreme Court, a federal judge in Virginia ruled that it was unconstitutional does not mean that that's the law all over the United States yet. That is, he did set precedent. So what they'll do is have to eventually take it up to the Supreme Court. But
if it can solve murders and
but
kidnappings and stuff.
But what I'm saying, the state of Texas has taken this case over. That's what I've read too. So maybe the state of Texas will be able to at least do a geofencing on that day, if nothing else, but to use that as a to talk to people and develop more evidence, not just the fact that they should use that as a sole evidence, but that it has been used in other things. That movie we saw,
2,000 Mules. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
What they did,
the
geofencing with that is they geofenced an area to find out who was in the area at a certain time. And while they were looking at things this movie's about, we're not getting into it, but they found that they had a shooting or a murder at McDonald's that 2 other cell phones was right there close to, where they didn't have a suspect, and they turned that over to police and solved a murder. That solved a murder. So um, there are private companies that do this, but normally private companies can't go back but 30 days on the geofencing, what I read today.
Mm.
But Google can. Google can go back, as far back as you've had your phone, an Apple phone or an Android phone, whoever has that um, chips in there, they can go back 2, 3, 4 years or whatever. So basically, what this is just like if you were driving, and there's so much stuff out there now that I really think it would help solve a lot of these missing person cases.
Yeah.
If you're out there, and I mean, just think if they run a geofence of, say, everybody within 100 yards of where his phone was last
What
on.
about Monkey in this case?
Yeah, but Monkey didn't have a phone.
No, but maybe his dad did in that general area.
Yeah. But what they'll do is a geofence around his phone for, say, 100-yard circle around his phone, and they'll know what phones were in that area.
Yeah.
And then they can at least go out and talk to them and see if somebody was there. I personally think, though, because they found troopers found his bag, his bottle, his clothes strode up and down a dirt road. I think that probably he had an accident because he was high on some drugs that he was smoking, maybe spice. Somebody put something in marijuana, a spice or PCP or something like that. And the PCP will make you do that. Is he has a wreck, tears up his car, gets out of his car, and starts shedding his clothes. And remember now, it's cold. It is very cold out there. So he sheds his clothes, he walks out into an area, gets lost, and probably dies of hypothermia. Now, will they ever find him? Sure. Sooner or later, maybe his bones are scattered by wild animals, but someday, or maybe he crawled down into a well. We don't know. Someday, probably his bones will be found, though. Just the mere fact that they haven't found them doesn't mean that they won't be.
Okay, but going back to Monkey, okay, he lived in a neighborhood.
Right.
If they could get the neighbors to tell us.
Well, they wouldn't even have to do that. They could geofence an area. It doesn't matter. He just phone
time
doesn't
and
have
area.
to be on right.
And say,
and
okay.
So it could tell us the geofence of everybody phone that's inside that area, right? They could.
God.
Why don't they do it? I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Is it very expensive? I don't know. But this is the order. I want you to read this whole thing. I didn't go through it here, but Richmond, Virginia, a warrant that used Google location history to find people near the scene of a 2019 bank robbery violated their constitutional protection against unreasonable searches. The decision, believed to be the first of its kind, could make it more difficult for police to continue using an investigative technique that has exploded in popularity in recent years. Privacy experts say the court ruling came earlier this month in a closely watched Virginia case in which the robbery suspect argued that the use of the geofence warrant violated their Fourth Amendment. Geofence warrants seek a location data on every person in a specific location over a certain period of time. To work those people,
to
work, those people must be using cell phones or other electronic devices that have the location history feature enabled. U.S. District Court Judge Hannon Lack found the warrant violated the Constitution by gathering the location history of people near the bank without having any evidence that they had anything to do with the robbery.
But they were guilty of it.
Well, they're saying you
Oh
can't
my
use
gosh.
that.
See, to me, just like when a child comes up missing, listen, be the first one to say, hey, let's, Google, come on, do this. Tell us
Well,
who
it's
was
like
in the
this.
area.
It's like the thing with Google, and I understand some of it, but all right, let's just say, for instance, somebody, you killed me in this. I was dead in this thing, shot to death in this RV, and you're gone, and they catch you out somewhere, and you have your phone on you, and it shows, maybe they suspect that
You were doing something
don't
different.
worry about it. Maybe they suspect you were talking to somebody, whatever. Google and them will not even open that phone for police because it's a violation of my civil rights.
Okay,
Crazy.
a couple of things. Thomas, you may need to cite the news broadcast. And also, does this lead to strangers, in your opinion, Thomas, or people he knew?
I kind of basically, he always strips off all his clothes. I think it's more of a drug thing myself, but that's his car and him. This is another picture. These pictures don't even look like him.
They really don't. That kid that we
Uh-uh.
saw the pictures with
And
his
right
dad.
there, I mean, Texas State student. It to me that he's see how his face is kind of thick here. Well, you start being on drugs and stuff, and you maybe
Going
start
right,
losing your weight. This is the clothes he first had on. Is found in the middle of the road. Was that shirt and those shorts? And to me, he looks thinner in the face there. He maybe he's doing some type of drugs that cause him to be. This is a map. 1105 San Marcos. He was at 1111. He's at Martindale. He's driving here 11:15 on down to 130. Uh, and then right here at Digital Footprint stops right there. And then the car was found at 1231 up here. So he basically went down that thing and then turned back up on 183, just off 183, where they found his car. Now, I'm going to tell you, this whole area was nothing but oil tankers and tanks around oil rigs. And they searched everyone. They drained every oil tank out there and searched every storage bin for him and checked all around those drilling platforms and drilling rigs. And right there also is another picture. I mean, he doesn't even look like himself in that other picture though. He's with the Attorney General.
What is that called? Geomapping?
Geofencing.
Geofencing.
Cold case unit. They took it up.
Well, because of that movie
And
we
this
watched,
one
they
thing, too.
bought the information. The
Yeah,
geofencing.
Yeah, but I think they had it within a certain amount of days. I don't think you can do it like within a year or so the way they're doing. But you can read this. Read the last thing there.
Last known to be driving from San Marcos, Texas to his parents' home in Missouri City, Texas on December 13th, 2020 for Christmas break. A little over an hour later, he wrecked his vehicle. His wrecked vehicle was found abandoned at Salt Flat Road in Lewing, Texas. The lights were on, the keys were in the ignition. His handbag and clothes were found scattered on the roadway 900 feet away, but there's no sign of Jason.
No sound of Jason. No sign. the only thing, when there's an area, a big area like that out there, and you can't find a person, I mean, completely, but you found all of his clothes, including the clothes he's wearing, then, that's when you start to wonder what happened. What happened to him? But I know they've done searches. Even now, they've done searches. They had the Texas Rangers out there. They had a big search team out there here recently, but they've searched on horseback, four wheelers, and foot, and they still can't find him. But his clothes are spread up at 900 feet. That's that's 100 yards away. His clothes are spread, so you don't know. He could just be
Did you look
laying
at it
out
from
in there, or he,
Google Earth?
yeah,
I mean,
Google
there
Earth.
ain't nothing there.
No, there ain't nothing out there. It could have been. It could be. Somebody took him somewhere else, or he was on drugs. He was hopped up, and he started running, and he just ran. I mean, there's this whole oil place is this desert, and it has bush grass. It's not really grass.
Go
What Texas was it
look,
at?
look, if you put in Salt Flat Road, it'll come up. Y'all, that was okay. Hold on, I got to get back to my. Where? How did I lose my? We are. Just a second. Okay, Tommy's gonna pull it up and show y'all. I mean, this area is completely
Salt Flat. What?
Salt Flat Road, luring.
There's some strange stuff on Google Earth.
Like what?
I'll show you. There's a lot of stuff you would believe. I mean, crazy stuff that people have found on the map. I don't know why I can't get my search button to open.
There you go.
No, that's what you call it here. What's the name of it? Salt Flat what? Salt Flat Road?
Yeah. Beach Bum, I know this is probably our last week in Wisconsin with our daughter, and we are going somewhere with her tomorrow night. So we're coming on tonight. That's why we put the notice out there early enough, we thought. But if not, maybe people will come on and look at, go this one.
I don't know about. Okay, I'm going to show you this. There was some houses the abandoned houses down the road from this place. I'm going to show you this, but I'm also going to show you what this looks like around these places. Well,
He's getting there.
I'm getting there. I thought there was a way to do that.
Well, if you click on the guy,
Yeah.
click on the guy, and then click right here.
Well, I know that, but I'm trying to showing. Last time it showed some of the wells and stuff out in here.
Okay, he's almost got it.
Yeah, this is a type of land that you think about. He ran out through and
Fencing and everything.
fencing, but I'm going to show you here. Wait a minute. Let me go back out of here. This I showed last time I looked at this, and it was some of the stuff that
he's fixing to put some maps in Google Earth up there for y'all to be able to see the surroundings that this young man was in. And so there's a lot of there's a lot of places for him to get lost, and for him to have, I mean, it's hard to search.
And it had some also some big oil rigs too, and things he was at. I'll do one more because I know that this is last time I looked at this, and there were some
You need to do that.
I don't know.
To show where they went missing from. Pull it in like so it automatically goes down like that.
Yeah, I do. I need a lot of things. Hold on a minute. Crap, I do. Okay. All right. Let me get over here and pull up a couple of things. If y'all will wait on me here.
He's a coming. So to me, it would make sense for if I had a child missing, I would do what I could to whatever money it costs, raise the money, borrow the money, whatever, to do the geo fencing in the area my child came up missing in.
This is the type of stuff that he would be running through. You see that oil rig in the background down there. He would be running off of this type of grass area.
Was he barefooted too?
Barefooted. He didn't have any shoes on. They found shoes. They found all of his clothing. So he could have just ran out into there. They drained all of the ponds, as you can see on this thing here. See all those little ponds? They drained all the ponds around there, sent divers and whatever to the other ponds. And I think this little T right there in the road's where he wrecked. I'm thinking that was it. It was down in that area. And they checked. But a lot of tanks, other than the fact, Watts put his kids inside those tanks, but a lot of the tanks are too small for a man to get into. But they, as far as I know, they drained them to find out if he could possibly be inside of them. I don't know. I had the exact place before. Let me show you one thing here. I mean, West Texas, out in that area, they have all of these tanks. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And this was what they were concerned about right here, that him being inside one of these. But as far as I know, they have drained them. And I remember them talking about them. They've drained these tanks. And this is like Chris Watts also talked about also about putting his little girls inside one of these tanks. I don't want to say I just got a weather notice. Why isn't that coming up? It's gonna rain.
Oh. We had no idea, did we?
No. Anyway, you can see the smaller tanks here, real small tanks, and then the larger tanks. I think the larger tanks are what Chris Watts put his babies in, but they searched, as far as I know, they have searched all of these tanks to see maybe if he was so paranoid he needed to crawl down inside of one of them. So, but you can imagine that his dad and them, they've searched ponds, they've searched these tanks, they've had horseback, they've had canines, they've had everything, is still nothing, just totally. And it's been now, well, let me see, the last poster will tell you exactly when. He disappeared.
It's okay, Maggie. It's
December 13th, 2020. So
it's not storms.
Be 2 years. This December be 2 years So, you know, he's not a small kid either. 6'1", 170 pounds. What's that?
What weather report did you just get? The RV
This
is
thing
shaking.
is shaking like everything. I thought it was just going to rain. Oh, that's a thunderstorm coming across there.
All right. Well, it just got here.
Yeah, I thought that's firecrackers, though.
I guess. Well, Maggie
See
knew.
right there.
Maggie knew.
We got some big, heavy thunderstorms coming in. I just hope we don't have any hail. I had a friend of mine's out in Glacier, and they ran through a hailstorm. It damaged their Jeep, their everything on their Jeep. But you know, you imagine running out through there at night with no shoes on, or this right here, brushed like that, and you can see there's water, all type of ponds. These place ponds everywhere out in there. Dina, look and see the exact location that he was at. Do you know that?
It just said Salt Flat Road.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But this is it. I'm thinking it's right there.
Live chat. All right, y'all don't forget to put it on live chat. Mine wasn't on live chat, so I wasn't seeing all the comments. Okay. Oh, hey.
What?
The door over the door is out.
Okay, we'll put that thing back in.
Oh man.
Open that window up when you see that. I don't know what that I can see what's happening out there.
It's kicking up.
And you know, it is amazing that, I mean, what you think about the evil in the world. I was talking to what is that sound though? That sound like firecrackers or something.
I don't know. Maybe lightning.
It might have been that too. That thing
It could have been
popping. You know, people were talking. And I'll say this: sure, there are mental problems, but there's evil in this. Sorry for the buffing. We're fixing to get hammered by a storm out here, and that's what it is. But you know, unless you've really looked evil in the eye, and you know, somebody in law enforcement like me, I've seen the pure evil. You really don't know. Listen, we are going to go and at least find out how bad this is. It's really looking bad outside. Wind's blowing like crazy. Need to get our cat in too. So we're going to go, and we are starting to buff a lot. Thank you, everyone, if you're coming tonight. We love you very much, and we mean it. We're not just saying it. Yeah, it's fixing to get here bad. And we hope that you'll see us next time. We just had something going on tomorrow night. Had to do it a day early. So come back and see us. Join us on our other channel. We're on Wednesday nights, and on Sundays we put out a video. And I think we're going to be on live this Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, if there's nobody else on. If they are, we might just put out a video. I don't know.
Y'all take care.
But take care, and God bless y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Where am I at?